All right, welcome back to Nails by Sora. Hope everyone is doing well. So I want to do a few more designs for my nail art book. And I received, as if it just mysteriously came in the mail. I bought white pigment powder because I want to try to do an ombre using that. But I also bought nude pigment powder. They came in two different forms. One is loose pigment, the other is pressed powder, kind of like an eyeshadow. So I figured I'd play around with both of them and do a regular ombre and then a reverse ombre. Regular ombre going white to nude from the tip down to the cuticle line, and then the reverse going nude from the tip down to white at the cuticle line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the base coats on in gel polish, and then I'm going to use the powder on top. So I'm using Perfect White from Glam for the white, and I'm using Vintage Carnation from Apres for the nude nail. So I'm going to get these in the lamp. I'm going to do 2 coats, and then we will get on with it. So the pressed powder is from, well, they're both from Magpie Beauty. This is the pressed powder compact. Like I said, just like a nail eyeshadow. It's got 2 magpies. At least I assume that's what they're supposed to be, embossed into the pressed powder. And then the other one comes just like my neon pigments do in this vial. All right, so I've gone and done 2 coats. I did a matte top coat so that we can scrub in the powder, and we're going to get right into that. So since we have the first one as white, I'm going to go in with a clean brush, hopefully, and do the nude at the tip. And so I'm going to scrub pretty firmly, and then I'm going to lift the brush and loosen and kind of just like feather it out as it goes up the nail, and then back and forth. Now this is already working a lot better than I thought it would, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've been struggling with doing an ombre, particularly at work. So this will make things a lot easier. We get people that don't want to see the powdered effect if you're, using dip and you're tapping it over the surface. This really gives a clean finished look, and then you can use the softer side of the brush to, feather out even more. But that's really nice, really subtle, and you're not seeing any marks. So if we go in with the white now, I'm just going to take what's in the cap and I'm going to do the same thing. This is a different brush, a clean brush. I'm going to be a little bit more gentle since the white is more pigmented. This just really makes it so simple to create a beautiful ombre. All right, I'm going to go ahead and top coat that, pop it in the lamp, and we're going to move on to some other designs. All right, so for this next design, I'm going to do a hibiscus. And it's been very popular lately. It's a Hawaiian flower. It's a subtropical flower, but they're more commonly found in Hawaii. And I've been getting a lot of requests for them lately, so I figured I might as well put it in the book. I'm going to have this beautiful coral color as the background. It's called Meownificent. And then I'm going to be using Vampire Drunk and Caribbean Sunset for accents. So I think I'm only going to need to do one coat because it's pretty vibrant. But we'll see how it looks after it comes out of the lamp. All right, so I'm going to grab something. Oh, my palette. I've got my dotting tool, which has got gel all over it. Let's see if we can clean that up, shall we? Shall we? I'm going to start off with Vampire Drunk, and then we're going to use Caribbean Sunset as the accent. So the ones that I've been doing lately are just white on a colored or a nude background, so I'm looking to have some color in here. Do I want to use the larger or the smaller dotting tool? Let's start off with the smaller dotting tool, shall we? So hibiscus flowers are pretty easy to do. They have 3 points on each petal. So I'm going to go in and draw those out. I'm only going to do 4 petals. If you're doing a larger nail, you can do 5. Then I'm going to use my lining brush. I'm just going to pull the pigment to the center from each dot. You can arc the line a bit. But you kind of want to feather it out towards the center. Just like that. So once you have one leaf done, you can rotate it and go on to the leaf petal. Once you have one petal done, you can rotate it and go on to the next one. Now I'm just going to go in and refine the petals. You can pick up a little bit more pigment if you need to. And then when you're happy with it, you can go and give it a cure. So hibiscus flowers are not just one color. Usually they are 2 or 3 or shades of the same color. So I'm going to go in with Caribbean Sunset. I'm just going to pull some color up from the opposite direction. And once again, once you're happy with it, you can go ahead and give it a cure, and then we're going to add in the stamen. Put in the stamen, I'm going to use the red, and I'm just going to draw some thin lines going down from the center. Then we want to go back in with our dotting tool. And that's really it. You can add other accents if you want. Some designs around the border or whatnot. You can keep it simple. I think I kind of want to keep it simple. So I'm going to give this a cure, top coat it, and we'll move on to the next design. So continuing on with our floral theme, I'm going to be going in with tea leaf, and I'm going to polish the whole nail green because I want to have a contrasting color for the next flower, which is going to be, what is it called again? Lavender. I'm going to do one coat of tea leaf, and then I'm going to go in and I want to kind of do some splash marks, for lack of a better word, kind of like dabbling pointillism of the popped pistachio, just to have some splotches of darker tones. So I have this grabber that I got from Miss Millow and a little bit of a makeup sponge. So this has 4 prongs that push out with the plunger at the back, and you use it to grab a piece of that sponge. So that you can use it as a dabber. I'm going to build it up slowly. I'm going to put on one coat, cure it, and then go and put on, wow, words today, and put on another coat. So once again, I've gone and applied a matte top coat. That's going to make it easier to draw on, especially since I'm going to be using predominantly gel polish and not gel paint. Gel polish is a little bit thinner. It's more likely to run and bleed. So I want as much of a matte top coat as possible, or as much as a non-slip surface as possible. So for the stems though, I am going to go in and use my green gel paint, and I'm going to grab a longer liner brush. So I want the lines, the stems, to kind of be curving around the side of the nail. I'm just gently dragging the tip so that I get as thin of a line as possible. All right, so if you're familiar with lavender, you know that the buds stagger up the stem, the stalk, in a kind of a diagonal fashion, going from small at the top to a little bit larger as you're coming down. So I'm going to go in a little bit at a time and space them apart so that that they don't bleed together, and also so that I can get some accent shades in between. And I'm really just doing hash mark. So now that that's cured, I'm going to go in with some of the lighter lavender. This one is, well, the first one was by My Acai. This one is Aster Family. And I'm just going to place it in between.
Time flies, yet there's butterflies in my palms and in my eyes. Now echoes from the other night, gossip about our delight. What if we would join our forces? What a bliss. You make me understand this place in a whole different way. You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest. I will read you love poems. Hope that you get kind.
All right, so now that that is on, I'm going to give it a cure. That's going to finish off the lavender itself. I kind of want to put some of this darker purple gel paint in. That one's not open. Let's grab the one that is open, shall we? Just for a little bit more contrast.
This place in a whole different way. You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest. You make me understand this place in a whole different.
All right, that's better. I'm going to put this in the lamp, and then I do want to add some contrast to the stems and the leaves. All right, so this is what we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did want to do another flower nail art, Lily of the Valley, but I don't think I really have the energy to tackle it tonight. So I'm going to put this away for now and most likely continue it tomorrow, but that will be a snap of the fingers for you. But that's going to be a snap of the fingers for you because it's going to be right now. All right, so it's actually a few days later. Work got crazy and I got tired. And also, if I spend some time away from doing something, I tend to get nervous about it again for some reason. So, I am back now though, and we're going to move on with the flower that I wanted to do the other day, which is Lily of the Valley. So there are blue lily of the valley, there are white lily of the valley, and apparently there are pink lily of the valley. I just like saying lily of the valley. But they're so gorgeous. They look like upside down bells. And the one that I'm going to be referencing has dewdrops all over it. So I'm thinking about doing some dewdrops in 3D. But let's start with the background first. And I'm going to do a similar treatment with this one as I did with the lavender, where I kind of blot out a watery background. So I'm going to be using some darker tones of blue to contrast with the bright blue of the flowers. So we've got Roadtrip, and we've got Midnight Forest, and then we've got I think I'm going to paint the background in this. Actually, I'm going to go with the green energy. And then I'll use some of this to blot in with the blues. Hi, Boo Boo. How you doing, baby?
Agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
See, that went on kind of thick, so I'm just going to pull some off so I don't have problems curing it. All right, so we've got our base color down. I only did one coat because I'm going to be dabbing on more colors and kind of blending it out. Let's get back to our reference image. I'm just going to go back and forth between colors. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and cure that. It's a little difficult to see on camera. There's keeping the lightness in the center and then bringing the shadow in from the border. But I'm going to come in and do a little bit more shadowing. I just want to go ahead and cure it first because you get to a point where you're pulling off color more than you're putting on. So it's easier to do it in layers. So I'm going to cure this, come back, do one more layer, and then we're going to get into the design.
Agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes.
Alrighty, let's get into this. I've gone ahead and matte top coated it as always. I do want to draw in, oh, where to go? Come back. Draw in the vines first. So let's get our green. This is a bit brighter than the final result will be, but I want to be able to see it because the background is quite dark. So I'm going to just put that in first, and they kind of rain down. So we're just going to do some tendrils coming down from the top of the nail. Let's come here. Let's have some coming from the opposite direction.
Time flies, yet there's butterflies in my palms and in my eyes. And echoes.
Okay, so I'm going to do this step by step. I haven't done these flowers before. I'm going to kind of stagger them because there's some behind, there's some in front, And I need to try to get them kind of smaller in distance, larger in the front. So the two blues that I'm using, one by Madame Glam is Raindrop, and this one from the nail is number 83. I will post that information in the description box below. So I'm going to go over the lines for the ones in the back, and then I'm going to bring the vines back on top when we're done. But we've got some upside down U's, and then they flare out on each side, kind of like a serif. And then we've got a petal that comes in front, kind of like a regular U overlapping the background shape. I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to clean off my brush because it's kind of like an upside down cup. So you've got the underside. Did I just pick up the same color? Kind of feel like I should cure this first. But I can always go back over those lines. These colors are very similar on the nail. I'm gonna have to pick up a different color because you can't tell the difference between the two. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the darker blue and mix it in. All right, there we go. So I will bring down the blossom, the petal after I cure, and then I'll end up outlining kind of like this so that we get some depth. But it'll look better once I cure it and go back over it. So that's basically how it's going to go. And I'm going to fill them in probably one by one because I am a lunatic. But that's what we have so far. I'm going to cure this and then go back in to further accent the lighter blue now that I've completely gone over it with the darker blue. I'm just trying to decide. I don't like that all of the vines are going in front of some of the blossoms, so I may bring them forward again. Not all of them, just like maybe this one. I mostly like the way it looks. I like the fact that there's depth and shadowing, and it looks three-dimensional. Maybe add a little bit more shadow in here. All right, so I am going to go over this with some base and top coat. I was thinking about encapsulating it with Crazy Top because it is a little thick, but I think just doing base and top will work. Top. Base. And then I'm going to put in the dewdrops. All right, so we have our fully encapsulated nail. I did go a little bit thicker with the top coat so that it was fully smooth and you get that really good light line. I am going to go in with my Jinbei, what do you call it? Top coat, no wipe, just to get those dewdrops. So I'm going to pick up with my liner brush and just drop it down like so. Make sure you cure as you go because they will start to run. It is a little bit thicker, but not so thick that it won't, move on you. So if you notice them start to get a little blobby in a way that you don't like, then go ahead and drop it in the lamp. Only for about 10 seconds or so, that'll do, and it'll freeze it so that you can move on. Raindrops on roses and mittens on kittens. Wrong season. And once they're frozen, you can actually put them right next to each other and they won't blend into one another. I think that's good enough. By the way, I do realize it's whiskers on kittens and not mittens on kittens, but for some reason I always say mittens on kittens. Just thought I would say that. Okay, so I was originally only going to do these 5 nails, but there's one more that I want to try, and it's an iris. But instead of using gel colors, I want to use my alcohol inks. So trying to figure out what background color I want. I think alcohol inks always work better on a lighter background, so I think I'm going to go with white. So I'm going to pull my perfect white and go ahead paint that. I'm going to do a matte top coat as always, but chiefly because alcohol inks work best off of a matte background. So I'm going to have to probably do this in layers. Doing matte top coat, getting the design where I want it, matte top coat over that, add in more color and design to build up the color. Because when you add in more color and pull off and add in more color and pull off, you just, make the background colors murky. And I don't know of a way to build up this color in a watercolor sense, while still being able to keep the vivid brightness of the colors that came before. So I'm going to go ahead, cure this, do a second layer, do a matte top coat, and then we're going to get into the design. All right, so I had started doing this nail a different way. I wanted to use alcohol inks to create a kind of like a watercolor effect, but wasn't quite working out the way I wanted it to. So instead I'm switching back to gel. I did 2 coats of white with a matte top coat. And now we're going to paint an iris, and hopefully it will come out better than it was before. So I'm actually going to go in with my baby blender, maybe, if I can find it. And I'm going to use some of the colors that I already have on my palette. So I'm going to go in with this bluey purple. And I'm just going to kind of change my mind and outline the rear petals. So the iris has 3 petals in the back and 3 folding forward. So I'm going to do the ones in the back first. And then I'm going to do the ones in the front. I have a hair on my brush that isn't supposed to be there. So I'm drawing these indentations because it's the petal on the left-hand side that is folded over and overlapping. Likewise on this side, there's another one, and I didn't quite bring it in far enough, so I'm going to take a little bit of acetone and pull that in. So then on the right and left hand side, you've got other petals. And right now I'm just filling in the areas that have the same color. So if you're wondering why there's extra space, that is why.
And a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
So I'm going to loosely blend in. I need a different purple. You know, I have so many colors and none of the colors that I actually need. We're going to blend.
Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cure this, and then I'm going to put in some more details. So I'm going to take this lighter gray blue, and I'm going to add the accent in front, the part of the leaf that comes in and overlaps. Petal, not leaf. But you know what I meant. You know what I meant. So this is about where I got in the last video before it went tits up, so to speak. So now I'm going to start doing the lower portion. Where the petals fold out. I think I'm just going to start with a focus on the center petal so I don't get too overwhelmed. This one should be a little bit easier because I'm actually following an illustration of an iris, not an actual iris. And it's drawn with lots of broad strokes and hash marks. So it's a little bit easier for me to follow that and just kind of replicate it.
We would join our forces. What a bliss. You make me understand this place in a whole different way. You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest. Time flies, yet there's butterflies in my palms and in my eyes. Now echoes from the other night, gossip about our delight.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cure this because I don't want it to start getting muddy. I absolutely love the way it looks so far. I'm not going to have room to put in the full look of the leaves on the right and petals on the right and the left, but I will be able to at least put in the impression of them. So I'm going to cure this. I'm going to go in and do the right and the left petals, and then I'm going to, further bring out the contrast between the different colors and put in a little bit more of the hash marks so that you can really see the detail.
Then I'll play something really slow and ask you to dance with me, even stay with me. You make me understand this place in a whole different way. You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest. You make me understand this place in a whole different way. You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest.
All right, so it's time to put in the yellow portion of the iris, and that's where the pollen is. So I'm going to do it in the same method, I think. Kind of want to do, stipple it in with the dotting tool. So let's see. I'm gonna add in some orange also, just for some contrast, because it's a little one note at the moment. Although this is neon orange, so maybe we'll use actual orange. Something about this upper portion is bugging me. I think that helps add a little bit more contrast.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
All right, so I think that's about it for the iris. So I'm going to base coat and top coat it. Base coating first so that I can level it out, and then top coat so I can get that non-tacky surface. I really love doing these individual designs, so let me know what you think. And as always, please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps out the channel. And also let me know what other designs you would like me to do. Simple, complex, abstract, realistic. Just drop it down below in the comments. All right, so that's going to do it for these nails. I really hoped you like it. Like I said, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what other nail designs you'd like to see. If you like seeing videos like this, any techniques that you'd like to see me work on, just let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much once again for dropping by. Hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell so that you always know when new videos are available. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.